everyone here on this fun Friday. I think it's Friday. I heard somebody recently say there's only 3 days now. There was yesterday, there's today, and then there's tomorrow. So I thought that that was pretty fitting. So today we're going to talk about trials and tribulations and kind of turning those into some triumphs. Obviously, with COVID, we have a lot of negative situations going on. And I can't even get into the medical side of it because it makes me want to cry. So I'm going to stick to the business concepts of it, right? So obviously, we have a lot of different things going on, and there's a lot of unemployment that we're seeing a lot right now. I actually recently saw that 6.6 million people in the US applied for unemployment in the last 2 weeks. And that when it's all said and done, they expect there to be maybe somewhere in the range of 47 million people that will lose their job in this time period. And that's really scary. But, that's kind of why we're all here today. And on the plus side of that, had the situation not been going on, we wouldn't have the opportunity to be able to sit and meet with everyone today. Additionally, another thing is we've all seen a lot of events get canceled. And well, that's been really disappointing in a lot of ways. I've kind of found it exciting. Um, there's several different user groups and Microsoft conferences that usually cost a lot of money to travel to, and then there's conference fees. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to get your bosses to ante up the money for that. So it's been fun to not have to see if I can get it paid for and still get to experience all of the same opportunities. So those are a few kind of ideas on how you can take some trials and tribulations that we're currently going through and make them into something better. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. Let's see here if I got the right. Oh, I pray I got the right screen. Do you guys see my, do we see my PowerPoint okay?
Yeah, got that, Mary.
Okay, great. Let me stop sharing this. Okay, so we should be seeing my PowerPoint presentation. Let's go ahead and get started. So, like I said, there's a couple different things that we're going to cover in today's session. And one of those is, who I am. And not that that really matters, but I kind of want to give you some background so that more or less you trust the advice that I'm going to give you and you understand that maybe it's worth listening to. Also, we're going to discuss exactly what the Power Platform is in a little more detail. Obviously, you're going to have a really great opportunity over this weekend to get some more details, but we're just going to briefly discuss some of it. And then additionally, we're going to talk about what it can do for you in your career. So, like I said, who am I, right? So I'm the one on the right. Some of you may know my friend Donna, who's on the left here. And, currently I'm a D365 ERP consultant. But in the last 10 years, I've gone from bartending to ERP consulting. And let me tell you, there have been so many bumps and bruises along the way, just to put that mildly. Uh, you know, for starters, I did most of the journey as a single mom and had no help from family or financially. With that being said, there were so many weeks where I couldn't even really afford to feed both my son and myself. But I could have really focused on the negative things in the world kind of crashing down around me, much like some of you may feel right now. But if you focus on those negative things, there's no I don't think that there's a way to get out of it. And so what I did is I chose to not give up. And I fought for something better. I couldn't focus on the negative of today, but I wanted to find a plan on what I could do to make tomorrow better. And in the end, there were many positive outcomes, but I think two outcomes that I want to discuss was one, as a mom, this is like the most important thing to me. And my son saw me fight through so many different hard situations, and he thinks that I'm the smartest person in the entire world. And like, he thinks there's nothing that his mom can't do. And everyone measures success in their own way, but for me, that tops it. So that's me personally. I don't know what for you, but that's one thing. And then one of the things that I've also feel has been really fortunate and such a blessing in this time is that I have a story that I can share with all of you. And we all come from different backgrounds and we all have a story. And we all have chapters of that story that maybe we don't want to share or that we think hold us back or make us different than the person next to us or the person maybe that still has their job. But, I kind of want to help inspire you to know that that doesn't really matter. And anyone can do anything that they want to do if they set their mind to it. And so, in being this ERP consultant, whenever I got started, I went from working in accounting to ERP consulting, and I had no clue what I was doing. In case you don't know what that is, that means that I work with Microsoft's Dynamics 365 Finance, and I implement modules such as general ledger, accounts receivable, and accounts payable. I like to a lot of times tell people, if you think of QuickBooks, it has sales orders and purchase orders and some things that go in between there. I handle Microsoft's version of that for like commercial level size companies. It's kind of the basic prime of it. But I didn't know that necessarily going into it. And I got started in the community. I had to ask questions. So I got started there, which is actually how I also found out about the Power Platform and an app in a day. So it's kind of how I got involved with Power Platform. I just went to App in a Day and D365 Saturday Conference, which is the same the same program that's being brought to you here today. And like Victor mentioned at the beginning, I didn't realize that was the first time that he met some of the other people in person too. So it's always a fun experience. And that really changed so much for me in that weekend. Number one, I learned a new skill set, but more so, this skill set, it gave me confidence and it gave me a passion and a place to put that passion that I didn't realize I had before. Um, I say that the being able to work with a Power Platform and have the skill set and build applications that I didn't think I could gave me so much confidence that I was able to go and get a new job, even though I just started in this tech industry. I was only in there for like 6 months and was able to go and, grab a new job because my new employers could see the passion and drive that I had around that. Also, the Power Platform has given me a lot of amazing work opportunities and opportunities to meet other people, such as my friend Donna here. If you don't know Donna Sakar, then you need to. You can go ahead and Google her now. She's the most amazing person. But anyway, she's really great at encouraging people, and I don't think that had I not been involved in some of the things that I would have met her. I've also had the opportunity to work on different projects to help give back to the community as well. I worked with a team in a hackathon, and we created an app to help teachers in Tacoma, Washington. And I'm also working on an app to help children with ASD and help learn social cognitive skills. This also gave me the desire to be part of a approach, what I call is being a world maximizer. I kind of came up with this concept of world maximization because I realized that the Power Platform was so powerful and big and easy that anyone could do it. I'm not unique and I'm not special, right? Anyone can take the skill set that I just did and change their life. So my goal in world maximization is to empower as many people as possible to reach their maximum potential. And I'm guessing that's probably why Victor asked me to come speak with y'all today, is to kind of share some of that passion. And when I was prepping for this, I kind of thought about some of the things that I've learned about in the last, year or so. And I think that one of the biggest takeaways that I've had is kind of summing it up in this learn, share, network aspect here. I'll get into the learn part in just a little bit, but it's a lot about learning and it all centers around the community. You learn it from the community, and then you share. I think there's an unspoken rule with the Power Platform community, and it's kind of like paying it forward. You gain so much knowledge and help from everyone involved that you just naturally want to give back. And there's many different ways that you can give back. Like I said, there is a website that I'll show in a few minutes, and it's the community website. And you can ask any question that you want. You can also search for different questions. Let me try to share this real quick. One second. I'm still trying to get really smooth at my transitions. So as you can see here, right, this is the Power Platform community. This is kind of where I started with things. As you can see, there's different applications, which we'll check out in a few minutes. But basically, it's all these message boards of people asking questions and people responding to questions. You can go in here like how to add a button. If you're trying to build an app or you have some type of question, you can do this for Power Apps or Power BI or virtual, all of them. But you ask a question, you can see that there's all kinds of answers on different how to add buttons. Maybe you don't understand this question. Maybe you don't understand what somebody's asking. Maybe you have a different question. That's okay. You can ask a question here under new message, and you can ask whatever question you want, and people will answer you at an amazing speed. I mean, like 24 hours or less sometimes. So I bring this up because this is this learn share concept, right? So you spend a lot of time here in this community, and then you start to see other people's questions, and then you decide, oh, I know the answer to that. So then what you end up doing is you share your answers back, right? So now you're sharing and you're answering your community questions back. And then you'll see that a lot of people have blogs and YouTube videos. Then you find you too can add blogs and YouTube videos. And I started doing that about a year ago and was amazed at how much feedback I got back with that, which is why I have the network in here as well. It's kind of like this trifecta. As you learn, you share. And as you share, you end up building your network because you're going to learn from people and you're going to help people. And I think that that's one of the biggest takeaways that I've learned kind of being involved with the Power Platform a little bit here is that you have this nice simulation of learn, share, and being able to network. Also, I like this picture. This is how I feel. I kind of have to take a second once again just to highlight the Power Platform community, as I'm sure you'll hear over and over again if you're not already actively involved. Um, this is how I feel about it, right? It's kind of like taking everything in like a fire hose. Like drinking from a fire hose is how much of an amazing amount of resources that you're going to be overloaded with. Additionally, clearly you're going to have career support. Victor put together this whole event just to help people with career support. And that's over one situation, over a week and a half. I mean, think about the impact that that can have when you're involved with it on a daily part of your life, or even just in a regular part of your life in a long going, process. It's the most amazing people to be around. And I always say it gives you such a sense of belonging. I always say that I'm not for everyone. I've got a very unique personality and I rub a lot of people the wrong way. I'm a little peppy, a little over enthusiastic, and that's okay. Uh, but what I really love is that I don't feel like that with the people in the community. It's such a natural place to be around people that are equally energetic and enthusiastic about helping people and making people better. So, if you're ever having a bad day, you can always go to the Power Platform community, whether it be on Twitter or LinkedIn or read a blog, and there's always going to be somebody there to make you feel better, even in the worst of situations like we're facing right now. So, like I said, people will get into a lot more depth about what the whole full power platform is. But since we're just getting started in this conference, I wanted to take a second to highlight some of the overall applications that are in there. And what it is the Power Platform is a set of tools that basically empower anyone to provide a low code or no code solution to everyday problems. My personal choice is using Power Apps and Power Automate, but I'm really excited to make my first chatbot with a virtual agent soon as well. Power BI, I think, is one of the biggest tools out there around right now as well. And what it is it's what I'll call is a fancy, very fancy Excel data and charts put together is the layman's term for it, I guess you could say. And it gives the ability to easily visualize data. As you can see, there is beautiful charts and graphs and dashboards. And the mobile application allows it to easily distribute your graphs to anyone in your company that may need to use them. Then, of course, like I said, there's mobile applications. So maybe previously your salespeople couldn't take some really nice graphs that they had attached to their maybe CRM system or their finance system to their clients, but now with this mobile application makes that a lot easier. And also, especially in today's world, in the current situations when we're all suddenly forced to work from home, it's really easy to collaborate and make notes inside Power BI and share that with your team. My personal favorite are Power Apps. I mean, there is nothing like being able to tell people in my spare time, I make apps that you can put on your phone. At least for me, I think that's pretty cool. But what it is basically it is a bunch of templates and designs that are easy to use, and they empower end users with low code, no code applications, and allows you to make different programs for computers, iPads, or or just to use a desktop application as well. We also have Power Automate. Used to be known as Flow, but now it's Power Automate, and it works really nicely with Power Apps and of course entire Power Platform. But basically, it's a series of connectors that allow you to automate, connect, and organize different sets of data within your system, or to automatically do some notifications. It's really kind of the starting process of some digital transformation. This is a new one that I think is really cool as well. It's the Power Virtual Automate. Basically, you can make your own chat boxes. We see those a lot now on websites, and sometimes they're great, sometimes they're not. But with Power Virtual Automate, you can make your own chat box, and you can make it as amazing as you want, because it allows you to monitor feedback so you can actually improve your chatbot as you go based off of your feedback. So we've talked a little bit about what the Power Platform is, but why should it matter to you? Yesterday, I was listening to the Microsoft Business Application seminar that they ended up moving online, and I heard an amazing statistic. 97% of Fortune 500 companies are using the Power Platform in some way, shape, or form. So I don't know about you, but that's about all the reason that I need. There are many other reasons, but I was blown away. I mean, to me, that's one reason, is like, why? But some other reasons that we're going to discuss is that it is the it's a gateway to digital transformation, which is taking over the industry right now. Also, the Power Platform leads to stable future career growth opportunities. Nobody wants to start over time and time again, so it's important to get involved in an industry that's going to be around for a long time. And my most favorite part, I think, is that it's really easy to start no matter what level you're at. I remember last year, the first conversation that I ever had with Victor is when I was going to the app in the day. I mean, VPNs confuse me. I'll be honest. I get really overwhelmed. I have terrible technical lingo per se. And I was very nervous about going to this program. And so I actually had to ask him to email me the forms or whatever beforehand, because I wanted to read to make sure that I could get started. So that's how novice I was, and not even quite a year later, we're doing all kinds of things. So it's very easy to get started. So what is digital transformation and BPA, right? So basically, it's using technology to improve the efficiency of day-to-day tasks. Business process automation is specifically geared towards those tasks that we do on a business standpoint. So some examples of digital transformation can be something as easy as online shopping, right? We don't even have to go to the store anymore. It's something that's been improved by technology. Even in COVID-19 right now, teachers are having to switch from, in classroom learning to distance learning in 24 and 48 hours sometimes. So that's another digital transformation that's happening. And it doesn't even have to be that high tech. Sometimes digital transformation and business process automation is as simple as switching up the way that you handle a task at work. And so you're no longer keeping a desk of files, and you now have an Excel sheet that you keep shared. That's as easy as digital transformation. So as you can see, it's actually everywhere. And there's some reports that show 45% of current jobs can be automated. And I'd be willing to bet that as everyone's being forced to work from home and we're all being really disrupted, that it's pretty obvious that things are going to change and be different. This 45% of jobs, if companies actually were able, or if they actually went ahead and said, okay, tomorrow we're automating these 45% of these jobs, it would be a $2 trillion savings for employers. So to me, it sounds like they, as employers, have a lot of incentive to work on this digital transformation. It's going to save them tons of money. And I'd like to argue that I'd rather be in control of my future. And if you're telling me that you're going to be able to phase out my job anyways, then why can't I be in control of that? And the Power Platform, like I said, is a gateway to digital transformation. It's all these tools that I briefly discussed that allow you to take all these business processes and technology and make them more efficient. So if you have the skill set to transform your job, then you're in control, right? You free up, you don't have to worry about whether you're going to lose your job. Instead, you can tell them how you're going to make your job better. You can also expand your current skill set. So, for example, if you are a customer service rep, you, instead of being worried that a machine can now, or digital automation can enter your orders, that's fine. You know your customers better than anyone else. Let this new process handle putting in the order for you while you focus on the customer and providing them more attention or understanding where you can meet their needs and improve sales for your company more. So you don't have to necessarily be afraid of this digital transformation. With the Power Platform, you can be in control and you can come from a position of being proactive instead of reactive. Additionally, right now, because digital transformation is such an important part in the new, I guess, business revolution that we're having, the AI market is expected to be worth almost $400 billion. Guess what? Power Platform has that AI builder built right into it. So it's a area that you can definitely build out. And previously, a couple of years ago, the research firm McKinsey that did this report where I grabbed these numbers from, they expected in 2022 that the AI industry would be worth $16 billion. That's a that was just a few years ago. I'm sorry, yeah, a few years ago they thought it would only be worth 16 billion. Now they think it's going to be worth 400 million or 400 billion in that same time span. So to me, that just shows that this digital transformation and artificial intelligence is growing at such a rapid speed, they can't even keep the numbers on it. It's just a really amazing market to be in right now. Also, maybe you're kind of wondering exactly what is a citizen developer? Where does all of this lead? How can I make a career out of this? Well, a citizen developer is an end user, is typically an end user that creates different tools to help do a job better or find a new solution to a problem. What that means is you may already be a citizen developer and not already know it. I got these really great graphs from my friend Tomasz Puchecki. He's from Poland. He could not be part of this conference because he's hosting his own, but he put together these really great graphs kind of talking about citizen developers and how they're on the rise of the future. So some areas that you currently see a lot of a lot of citizen developers working, or where you could be working and be a citizen developer. Obviously IT. We all know that. That's a given. Me being a accounting finance person, I so love that you see such a large percentage in finance. If you think about it, there's many different opportunities that you can automate. All of your journal entries, your invoice entries, your sales order entries, all of that can, you know, be automated and a lot more efficient than it currently is. One of the first apps that I actually built was a commission calculator. And all I did was, whenever sales orders were invoiced, a notification went off, a calculation was automatically done, and a journal entry was created. My old job, that was a process that used to take 4 to 5 weeks, honestly, sometimes, and caused a lot of tension with our salespeople. But whenever you can take that into just a couple days, or really a couple clicks on however fast you want to do it, it really helps things. So that's one area. And then, of course, in sales or administration, obviously you have HR. And kind of what this is pointing out is you don't have to start all over. Maybe you want to start all over. Maybe you're like me and you were sick and tired of doing accounting or being in different areas, and you want to change. Well, you can definitely do that. But maybe you just want to be a little bit better, have an edge in your current role, and you spent the last, 30 years in HR, but you want to have a competitive edge. Well, you can gain a new skill set with the Power Platform and do that. Um, the graph on the right-hand side discuss the top benefits from having a citizen developer on staff. And what I really like about this is these are different arguments that you can provide to a recruiter, a future employer, or even a current employer, right? You should give me a raise because it's cheaper for me to fix this solution or this problem than it is for you to pay someone else. Or, you also will know your job better than anyone else. So it's a great area for you to say that they shouldn't hire outside, or you should hire me because I can fix this problem that I know exists in every HR firm. Just different ways to kind of spin it, but it's definitely a skill set that everyone is looking for, especially since, like I already said, 97% of Fortune 500 companies are already using this. And also, like I said, it's really easy to get started. And every single solitary person has the ability to create an app. And maybe it was Keith Watling. Maybe I can't remember exactly who said it. I think it was Keith said it on one of Donna's shows, and it was, everyone has an app inside of them. If you have a problem, if you know of a problem, then you can create an app to fix it. And basically, if you can handle working in an Excel spreadsheet, like having 2 columns, you can make an app. It's really that easy. Hold on, sorry, I just got something in my eye. Sorry about that. So there is, let me share my screen real quick, because there is this really great site that I'm showing here, aka.ms Power for All. Here's where you should get started. I'm sure that other people will give you a bunch of different guides and areas. I just happen to love this one because it breaks it down pretty easy. It's aka.ms power for all, and I can drop it in the chat here in a minute. And basically this is Donna's website, but I like it because she broke it down really simple on how to get started on creating a Power App. So first thing that you have to do, and I'm not going to get into all of it, but the first thing that you do is you have to create an Azure trial account. Great. That would bring you here. Now, I've been pointing people to this for a while since Donna created it, and I've seen this question come up a few different times. Well, once you start here and you go to start for free, I already have an account, so it won't show up on mine, but you get a screen that we often see, and it wants you to use your credit card to verify. And a lot of times people are like, done deal, I'm out. And, you know, maybe they stop. I've had some people that I had to go back and encourage after. That's why I went to look and see, well, why is it? So like, I don't want to get started. I'm not putting my credit card in. A lot of times that seems like a scam. Well, they do that to verify. And what it is it's a free trial account that you get for 30 days. And then at the end of 30 days, your premium Azure account goes inactive. Well, I'm sorry, it doesn't go inactive. It just goes to a different version, but it's still active. And so there's still things that you can do inside of the Power Platform and continue building and learning. So I just kind of bring that up to say, don't get scared. Just because you get here, don't quit going. Then Donna tells us, well, to go, then you get your community Power Apps plan. You'll, after you do your Azure account, you basically create your own email address. You take that email address, then you click on this site and you can get going. Here, this AKA MS Power Up is a really great learning. I said earlier that I talked about some of the learning applications, and this is the best place, in my opinion, to get started. There are several different modules that walk you through the basics, and then they even take you into some advanced paths as you continue on. I kind of like knowing what I'm going to get into. So they show, you know, getting started with Power Apps. You can see that it should take you approximately 6 minutes. So, you know, maybe it's not going to take exactly 6 minutes, but you kind of know what you're getting into. Shouldn't be too much. Also, you know that there's seven different modules here. You can kind of see the different areas. Also, there's tons of YouTube videos. If you're more of a visual learner and reading is maybe more of a challenge for you, you can also go to YouTube, and there's tons and tons of videos, and I really like them because then you can kind of pause them. It also kind of goes back to what I said earlier. Whenever you share back into the community, you end up making your own YouTube videos. So it's really easy to get started. I could show you more, but that's what the rest of the weekend is for other people who are actually a lot better at building apps than myself. They will show you some of the more advanced applications. Hold on a second. Got lost. Okay, sorry about that. So like I said, I just wanted to show you this slide too. These are all of your Azure services that are still free, even if you don't switch to a pay-as-you-go subscription like I was discussing earlier. So, so you still have a lot of free applications, which is why you shouldn't just get scared off. So we talked about a bunch of different things. Talked about what the Power Platform is, a little bit about how you can use it. But what now, right? How do we pull everything together? Well, I like to think of it like this. We have COVID-19 and which is a lot of problems. And then we have the Power Platform, which is really an opportunity to solve problems. So we have a big area of opportunities to create solutions. And I think that this period that we're going through is probably more important than ever for citizen developers and business transformation. All of a sudden, everyone was forced to go 100% remote, and we're faced with new challenges that we've never dreamed of. But these new challenges, um, they just really mean new opportunities for growth. I always like to try to put a positive spin on it, and that's the way that I always like to think of it. And in the restaurant, when I was working in the restaurant industry, there's this term and it's called like hands in, hands out. And what that means is whenever you're going to the kitchen to grab food or to put up dishes or whatnot, you should always have your hands filled with something, right? Whether it's your plates from somebody's table or cups or something, you should always be going to that kitchen with your hands full and helping others. And then whenever you're coming back out of that kitchen, you should have your hands full again to be helping others. So I kind of look at that as is similar to the situation right now, right? There's so many people that need some help, and it's like they see a need and fill a need. And so some of what this means is like if you're out of work right now, right? You have some extra time and some extra opportunities that you have. So you can learn this new skill set and you can think of a problem that your old job faced or that industry faced. Build an app for it, however small or big that you want it to be, and really hone that skill set. And then what you can do, you have two options that you can do with that app then, right? You can share it with recruiters as you search for new job opportunities. But, we're in unprecedented times. What if you had a solution, a really, really good solution, and you took that back to your employer that previously let you go? I mean, there's a really good chance that you might actually get your job back. I know that sounds a little crazy, but I mean, think about what the current situations that we're in. I think we're faced with a lot crazier things than, hey, I'm sorry that you let me go. I've got a really great solution. Do you want to hire me back? That's an opportunity. But maybe you don't want to take that route. Like I said, you still have this brand new skill set that you can market yourself to everyone else because everyone is facing needing to go 100% remote and needs a new skill set to be able to cope with that. Obviously, update your LinkedIn profile and your resume and put Power Platform citizen developer. You can add all of that to it. And those are some really big buzzwords that are going to get you some attention or get you noticed as far as your skill set. And maybe you're currently employed, but you're not really happy with your job, or you think that you could do more, or you're not sure why you keep getting passed over on, opportunities or promotions. Well, you can do the same thing too. Take this opportunity to come back when everything gets back to normal with a new skill set. You can still create an app for a current problem that you're experiencing, maybe invoice entry or inventory count. Maybe you can use a better internal organization approach. the Power Platform has so many different opportunities for you to be able to fix that and really take, this time to create something better. So as you enjoy the rest of the conference, I want you to keep a few things in mind. Think about some of the programs that really appeal to you. Is it Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, or maybe it's Power Virtual Agent? And then think of the problems that you're currently facing. And I really bet by the time that Sunday comes around, you're going to be sitting at your computer, glued there, and amazed at the product that you've just created, and knowing that you can now create something that you never thought that you could possibly do. And my good friend Eric recently wrote a beautiful blog on this, and I think that it's so important and true right now. No matter the trials or tribulations that we're all facing together, at the end of the day, we all rise by lifting others. So that's what I have to share with you today. If I can help you in any way, shape, or form, or if you just need a cheerleader, please feel free to reach out to me either on my email, mary@communityhackforgood.onmicrosoft.com. You can find me on LinkedIn, or you can find me on Twitter. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Mary.